Hey there, Paul Wagler here for Rise Now in the 2 Minute Wake Up Call. Well, I have this bar in front of me that I bent, but I didn't actually bend it the way that I was pretending to bend it here. It was bent with when we were in the home renovation last year. See this hot water radiator behind me here? This is very heavy, and so we ripped the floor out of the hardwood out of the main floor here, and it was underneath here. And then when we wanted to put the subfloor back in, we needed to lift this up a little bit to get the plywood underneath. So I used this as a pry bar underneath here, and in that process, that's how this got bent. It wasn't quite like this, but why am I using this? Well, it's to talk about power. You know, when we think about power, we often think of the word strength. You know, the brute strength that can just bend a bar with their bare hands. Well, I can't quite do it that way, but we're using that as a segue to talking about God's power. Angie and I have been talking these last few weeks on our Sunday morning 10 o'clock sessions on Facebook about God's power. And when we talk about God's power, it's totally different than human power and the strength of a man. You know, it says that the weakness of God is stronger than man's strength. It says the foolishness of God is wiser than man's wisdom. So we can't really compare the two. And the scripture has a lot to say about God's power. And so why do we want to talk about that? Well, because we all have developed and continue to develop a worldview, a set of beliefs about how we view the world around us and how we view God and how we view how his interaction with us can impact us. And the level of faith that we have is related to our understanding of who he is and what difference he can make. And so we want to teach what the scripture says about God's power so that we can raise our level of faith. You know, Jesus said to one of the fellows that he healed, he said, "Be it unto you according to your faith," and the person was healed. And so we want to know what the scripture says about God's power and then apply it into our lives with a high level of faith so that we can see God make a difference in our lives and in your life, that the power of God will transform us. It tells us in Deuteronomy 26:8, it tells about how he delivered the children of Israel from Egypt by his mighty hand and his outstretched arm. It indicates that there's power there. You know, you look at creation, God spoke and his very words created the universe and the world in which we live. And so God's power is incredible, and it is still active and available for us today. And so we want to tap into that. We want to experience that in its fullness so that it can come and it can transform our hearts and our lives so that we can not be the people that we used to be, and we can be transformed into the image of his son Jesus Christ and become more and more like him every day. And how does that happen? It happens through the working of the power of God in my heart and in yours. So I invite you, join us Sunday mornings, 10 o'clock on Facebook, Rise Now's Facebook page, and we will have a wonderful time learning about the power of God. Well, that's all for today, and until we meet again, stay awake and stay alert.